Call to order the regular meeting of the Woodstock Planning Board for October 3rd, 2024. And we do have a quorum. Are there any updates?
There are not.
Okay, we have the minutes from September 19th. Make a motion to approve as is.
I make a motion to approve it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Or if you want to come up and
Sure.
wait a minute. Last December. 2006. It was 50,000 miles. So it's so bad.
Usually 20 is.
Sandy, I only know you.
I'm always.
It's incredible.
What is that for?
Yeah. A minute or two, Paul.
Grading went on the site visit. No, I'm just too efficient. I should make this 36 months.
Announce the hearing related to the Meredith Sternberg, SUP 24-0695. It's a public hearing for a special use permit application to construct a single-family dwelling in a scenic overlay in R5 zoning districts located on Sickler Road in Lake Hill. Architect and presenter. Motion to open a public hearing.
Second.
Is there anybody here in the public for this case? Did you get any letters or mail?
Nothing.
He doesn't have that many neighbors.
He owns a lot of it.
All right, well, since there's no public comment, entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Paul, so I know that you went to the site.
Yes, I did.
And so the question is, how does it look?
It looks like pretty much what you laid out to us in terms of the side of the house being it's rather set back, and in terms of what you've now presented with the house design in terms of the windows, I don't see anything that would really be affected by people seeing anything. You know.
We're hidden in the trees first of all.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing you could even think you'd do would be all the way across the valley over to 212, but you know, I just can't even see that because it is so, it's tucked way back. It goes on ledges back there, and it's just not really anything you have to worry about.
And now the glass, it's
Yeah, he
changed
redid.
it.
Yeah, he redid the.
Yeah.
Do you have that plan?
That's all.
Okay, so we're less than 25% total for the house, and we're using museum grade glass. It's not
Non-reflective, yeah.
correct. What is it?
Museum
grade.
grade?
Look, really? Yeah. Yeah, so when-
It's non-reflective.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so when you go into an art studio, you know, we're a museum, and you don't get glare.
Glare on that art.
Glare over that painting.
Wow. Huh. Well, we've got a new product to
I know. That's what I was thinking.
Who makes the
recommend.
windows?
Pardon?
Who makes the windows?
It's still hasn't gone out to bid yet.
So the
gonna have
window
to specify.
manufacturers you'll work with
We
the
have to
manufacturer who can do the non-reflective glass.
Yes.
What's this rendering here at the top?
That's the one front of it. Yeah.
Yeah, in order to reduce the glass area, we had to take the gable ends and
Mm,
make that solid.
That side faces toward the main house, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
west.
Yes. Which is really pointing out toward the.
Yeah, it's not, yeah.
And the driveway's all the time. I mean, there's sort of already a road there. It's like-
And there's,
That's pretty
he's not taking trees down.
Doesn't look like he needs.
There's a clearing already for the septic.
But yes,
Natural.
if we have an area that could septic, that we don't have to cut, a lot of trees down. The house site virtually is just, tree cutting at all.
Mhm.
So,
And the only neighbors are literally down at Sickler Road, and it's like
Far.
they're way up, and so it's not really a factor for, that's probably why no neighbors showed, because
I doubt if anyone could ever
we'll
see
just see
this.
some trucks going up there, but we'll see.
Did you want to talk about materials? You're holding color samples of roofs. Did you?
Yes, I submitted, we're just gonna use a very, very dark, almost black color for the roof and for the actual frames for the windows. So the house is going to be really very, very dark in appearance. And as I said, we're keeping all the trees around the perimeter. We're not doing any clear cutting. And I mean, there's very little more to be said about it.
Mhm.
One story, single family, not an Airbnb. Okay, you see, as you can tell, he likes his privacy.
And the lights shine down. That's a requirement.
The outdoor lights.
Well, we're gonna, any side lighting is gonna be ground mounted. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, what we've used in the past up in this.
Any other questions?
No.
No, thank you for doing all that.
All right, and I'd like to make a motion to approve the application pending draft resolution.
I second it.
All in favor?
Hi.
Aye.
All right, Paul.
Okay,
You'll have a
thanks.
resolution in your mailbox.
Thank you.
That is them.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
and I thank them for working with us.
Okay.
Okay, our next case is 70 Tinker LLC, special use permit 24-0387A. Request to amend approved site plan.
One thing about it.
Runoff of a previously approved site plan to modify ADA accommodations within the site plan in the HC zoning district located at 70 Tinker Street in Woodstock. That will is presented. All right, Brad?
I don't know.
Good evening. Good evening. I have a question about the last applicant. Stickler Road, I had no idea that was in the special, in that scenic overlay.
Way up there.
It's way up on the
Way
top.
up.
Oh, it continues across on
It's
the other
way
side?
No, 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 like in the middle of Sickler Road, his driveway goes straight up the mountain there.
Oh,
Not
long
And I think
driveway.
he's
Not to
right,
bias.
he's
Yeah.
pretty much right at, but it's, yeah.
Okay, because it didn't have an address. So I thought, wow, that must be out
It's
there.
right. It is.
He was actually only like about 50 feet in the scenic overlay. If
I
he
know,
just
because I
moved the
said
house down a
just-
little bit, he wouldn't have even
It
been here.
wouldn't-
Oh, really?
yeah.
Yeah, but the lot they have is actually a nice lot.
So just to give you guys a little quick, you guys approved 70 Tinker for renovations of the building, everything was great. When they started working on it, there was an issue with the handicap accessible thing, so they're here to just do a modification to change that, so they're gonna take it from here.
John can probably do all the talking, and I'm just here to answer technical questions, but a really quick overview. What we changed is we had originally, when you saw this, we had a mechanical lift
Yeah.
here. We agreed that they're pretty god awful ugly and decided, what else can we do
And
that's,
what actually happened is that people kept walking past the building and asking me about ADA. And when I said we were putting a lift in, they said, "Can't you put a ramp in?" So we put the ramp, if you approve,
I say a lot of
because it doesn't, everyone said, well, that's not great. So
so that's what we're doing. We're showing
And
a
then-
ramp.
You also modified the front a bit, right?
Yes, yeah, I reviewed that with Butch, and we agreed that that was not impacting enough to make it part of this application. So it's really just the addition of this area that is within setback, does not encroach, and starts at the back of the building. It's being north in the Tannery Brook there and Tinker Street here. So this is a very slight. If you could think of really terrible, it's like it's less than that. So it's a sloped walkway. It's not even a ramp. So it's very slight. Takes you up to this point. You turn and come up, and that's a 20-foot long, 20-inch high ramp. Tail. All the dimensions are on here. The railing system, so that it continues on, so that it's a nice clean line. We didn't want to do just basic pipe railing for the ramp, and just keep it consistent. That's it. That's all we're asking for.
Questions, anybody?
No.
Well, I'd suggest to the board that I don't think it's gonna impact the neighbors, so I think we could wait further review if you all agree. I mean,
I agree.
I don't see how it affect anybody else. All right. We shall do that. We will wait for the review.
They have tenants yet for it?
Sorry?
Do they have tenants yet for it? You know?
On the
Oh,
lake,
John,
or
this is
the-
James Conrad. James Conrad, this is John.
We're neighbors.
Oh, wait,
You were, yeah,
Oh, sorry, we didn't do introductions. John is the owner and
Yeah.
developer.
You're
where are we neighbors? By my house?
Golden
Oh, just
Oak.
in town.
Just in town.
in town, yeah.
Just in time.
I have people asking me about commercial space all the time. I didn't know if you had
we
tenants.
don't have tenants yet.
Okay, I'll put them in touch with
So
you.
there's a string of people inquiring, some are more serious than others, but we haven't made promises to anybody at this point.
Okay, I'll just pass your email on.
Thank you. Yeah, that'd be great.
Why don't we make it official and make a motion? Just for the record.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to waive further review on 70 Tinker Street.
Second.
All in favor?
Thank you. For a little time and thank you guys. Thank you so much.
You want to keep for your record?
Yeah,
Or you want one and John can keep one, or?
yeah, how about you give me one? Okay. See you in like 5 seconds, maybe?
Huh?
See you in like
10 minutes.
10 minutes?
10 minutes.
So 5 seconds, I'll.
You get a brief rest.
Thank you.
Okay, our next sketch plan review is Sandra Whiter and Cohen and Alan Cohen. It's a wetlands and water course permit 24-056. This is the second sketch plan review of a wetlands and water course permit application to demolish an old pool and construct a new pool, deck and spa within the buffer area of designated wetlands in the R3 zoning district in Xena. So we have Vicky and they
Actually, my name is Chris Schmidt, and this is Eric.
Eric Wolfenier, registered landscape architect.
Okay, so we reviewed this once before,
Yes,
and we see that you're replacing the pool with a new one. And you're here for what's a water course permit. The only issue was the buffer.
yes,
Which basically what we do normally is we take the square footage of the impactment on the buffer area and add it somewhere else.
okay,
That's basically.
So after they sent the plans, they've been working on them, so what they have are new plans. So they, I think, I just got these like an hour ago.
yes.
But they worked on it, so we gotta dig into what they got.
Yeah, because we did initially that rain garden that we submitted then, and then we, upon further conversation, we talked about the disturbance of the square footage. So we did some updates to the plan here. Which you'll see in this one, which I do have copies for everybody, so we can read that. For that, so the existing one that we had from the GIS was the original boundary. After the last meeting, we did go out and have a wetland specialist flag the wetlands, which was also in the packet we submitted. You know, and updated on the survey here. So the line did adjust a little bit according to what it was previously. And what we have done here is essentially the red area is our area of disturbance. So that 1,703 square feet. And then the green is our proposed mitigation plantings area, which is a square footage of 1,787. So, and then we have, you know, that's why.
So the green is just added buffer.
Exactly. Currently, this whole area is lawn.
Right.
So we'll be establishing some of the buffer area there.
Yeah, I remember looking at the plan.
So
Board
we-
members have questions?
Pretty straightforward.
Is that also where the existing pool is right now? No.
The existing pool is in this orientation.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I'm presuming in ground.
Sorry, my screen grew
It's
out today.
That's right. It's a semi above ground. It's like
Oh,
with a deck.
Is
around
the
it.
new one in ground or?
It is in ground, but yes, like one end of it's gonna be cantilevered out. So this section here will be in ground on this wall and this wall, and then this wall and this wall will be raised.
Oh, I see. Okay.
To just work with the topography. That way we're not adjusting the grades in those areas. So trying to work with the existing.
Do you know if they're doing saline or chlorine?
So it's gonna be a salt chlorinated pool. So it does have the salt, but it also has, you know, this chlorine generator.
Right, okay.
We also use ozone and UV to minimize the amount of chlorine that we get.
But don't get me wrong, the rain garden is a beautiful thing. It just doesn't happen to fit in our formula for the buffer. I mean, rain gardens are all in favor of it. It doesn't fit the buffer criteria.
So what, yeah, and that's what sort of when we went through it the first time, and Melissa's been super helpful and working with us on this. And so what what we're proposing is to still use the rain garden in the mitigation, direct the water there so we can control the discharge points, and just have the single discharge point coming up. Is what we'd like to do.
Good thing.
Good. Anybody, members of the board, have questions? Hi, Jennifer.
Hi.
Anybody have
This
any-
is the property line, right?
Correct.
So it looks like you're about the same distance from the property line.
We are.
Is this old one? So-
Yeah, we tried to keep it really like our disturbance and footprint almost exactly what it was before, you know, knowing that it's a sensitive area.
Oh, fencing. So what are you doing for fencing?
So fencing is going to, it's this dash line here with these post marks here. So it's going to come right along the property line here. It's going to actually run underneath the deck because the deck will be the height that we need for the pool code. And it's going to come up here and then return into the house on this side.
Okay, so the house kind of is part of the fencing.
Yeah, so it's going to tie in on these 2 points here, and then we'll use the part of the house as the barrier.
You're gonna have the fence right on the property line.
Yes.
The only reason I mention it is because in previous situations where that has been done, then a few years from now, when we have somebody survey it from the other property owner, you're 3 inches over, move the fence, you know, then.
Sure.
Lot line revision.
We always tell everybody, keep the fence about a foot off the property.
What we do when we're in this situation, because of how tight we are, and we need this distance here to get the grade back down, we'll have this property line staked by a surveyor. And then we'll just have our pin set here and here, and then we'll run that up, because
Okay,
we
yeah,
have
make
done that.
John's
Yes,
got it.
no, I understand. And even when we do, we say, here's the line, put it on
Only
this
thing
side,
is-
not on the.
We've just seen that one too many.
I always say I built my shed. We see it all the time. I built my shed on my neighbor's property. Now I gotta pay him for the land.
Yeah.
I had a friend who had to move her,
0.0008.
she had to move her entire pool on California Quarry. She put in a pool and it was like 2 feet too close to the neighbor.
Yeah,
And
I
so
mean,
literally
it's
it's move the whole thing. So
It
you really
happens.
survey like
Yeah, no,
that.
we don't wanna, we've
No,
had that issue once. We
Yeah,
won't do
it
that again.
happened.
Not a pool, just a propane tank. But either way,
Problem with
moving pools
that
are harder.
is disclaimer that the surveyors can put on their property, on the plans. They say that this is
I know.
correct,
Yeah.
but, and so.
You should almost use 2 surveyors. To get a commonality.
No one wants to take.
I know.
John made a good point. I'm a surveyor. I can't tell you how many times the property line ended up right in the middle of the fence.
Right.
And they had to move the whole thing.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll
It
give
was in the
ourselves-
very middle of the fence.
We have that, we'll do a 6 inch or so, just to be safe,
All right.
Saves you some headaches in the future.
for sure, for sure.
So is there anything that you see from what we're presenting today that would delay the approval of the permit process? I mean.
We're done with the wetlands water course permit. The rest is the building department.
Okay.
Do you want to do a public hearing?
Where's your neighbor's
So now
house?
that's your call.
So this is actually the state land.
Oh, it's state line.
So they have their
Mhm.
roadway that comes in here through the buffer
You have a neighbor.
to access the reservoir.
You have one
And
neighbor.
then the house on the other side is
There's already existing pool there.
So you have one neighbor, right?
one neighbor here, and they own in and behind.
So I asked the board, do you think we need a public hearing so that neighbor has some input or?
I don't think so.
State line, so.
John?
It's actually city. I don't know, it's not state.
You probably have like 1 month to dig the hole, right?
Is it DEP?
I'm not sure.
It says City of Kingston. Water
City of
Department.
Kingston Water.
Oh, them, it's not DEP.
Yeah.
Right.
It's City of Kingston, which is more of a pain in the butt than the city.
Yeah.
So, but that'd be great, I mean, you know,
So I guess we're okay, Jennifer? Is it- You okay to wait for the review?
Make a motion.
All right, and I'll make a motion to wait further review on the Sandra Weir Cohen and Alan Cohen case.
Second it.
All in favor?
At the next meeting that we have, we'll do a resolution. And,
Okay.
then it'll just be, you'll be back with building permit once we finalize that, so.
should we prep and submit to them just so they have it, or do you want us to? wait
Nope,
for the
wait.
resolutions?
Wait, we'll talk tomorrow.
Okay, I just.
I'll
wanted
give
to
you a
get the
timeline,
question.
okay?
Awesome, sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, thank you all very much,
Thank you.
appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Good luck. Thanks.
I'll talk to you or Mickey.
Yeah, exactly. One of us.
One of us, I will talk to
Do you
you.
want any of these? Do you want us to wait for like the formal submission?
Can you leave me one?
Sure.
That would be great, because you just, yeah, that'd be great if I could. Have one. Thank you very, very much.
Okay, our next case. My bad, is Woodstock Gardens LLC. Special use permit 22-0385 and special use permit 22-0667. And Woodstock Wetlands and Watercourse permit 21-044. This is a plan review to present and discuss revised plans and response to WEC comments of site plan review and special use permit applications to construct and operate a 7-unit hotel in 5 buildings in the HD zoning district located at 1, 3, and 5 Palomar Lane. And Brad is representing.
And Lisa,
You got it.
can I just say first that I really missed this poll?
I joked about that too.
I'm kidding.
But we never had any poll answers here, so.
Did they do some work before they pulled it out?
Did quite a bit of work,
I hope so.
like removing about 17 tons of stuff to the second floor.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
amazing how much construction debris generates out of a small structure. So I have 2 of these here.
So my plan for this was, at the last meeting, Judy and Elle, all of you, but kind of went through her major concerns. And they went and talked to their applicant, and so they're here to tell you where we're at based on that, and then the comments on what. So Brad's gonna take it over and just kind of give a rundown.
Well, let me first ask, did everybody get a chance to read my 2-page response.
To the WEC.
I'm sorry?
To the WEC.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was planning on reading it, but
Maybe, yeah.
would that be
I
helpful?
read it a long time ago.
It's up to the chair.
It'll take me 6 minutes.
We timed it today. I'm just-
Is that okay? And all that is, all what I'm describing is represented here on the architectural site plan, on the leases. Assessment. Lots of trees, and pretty colors on them, and just some other supporting data. It's not the full set, you know. I didn't see a need to, that's the site mitigation. I didn't think you needed everything, since we reviewed quite a bit. So, I'm just going to read the letter. We got the letter was dated July 17th. We got it in early, like August 10th or 14th, something like that. So just in order of their comments are the responses. 1, tree removal and planting. The 3 parcel area of 1 to 5 Calamar Lane totaling about 1.5 acres is comprised of 2 distinct sections. To the north of the Tannery Brook, where 4 structures once stood, is relatively flat, grassy, and open area with 12 trees of varying species. See sheet PL1, existing tree information. 3 walnut trees will be removed near the center of the combined area. To the south of the Tannery Brook is a hilly wooded zone near the central footbridge at its terminus and foundation anchor. Every effort will be made to preserve trees between the footbridge and the property gate at the southern edge, where a 3-foot wide stone serpentine-shaped footpath will be installed, respecting the natural contours and existing woods. So just to note that the path has been, refined and shown, to be, where it's indicated where it's going to go. And it will never be that steep because it's going to be a switchback essentially. Yeah. Sheets PL3 conceptual site plan and PL3 tree planting plan reflect introduction of 13 species of trees to the site, totaling 37 new trees. Maybe you can show them, Lisa. 9 not included in wooded areas south of the brook. Perimeter planting of mid-height evergreens will provide privacy screening for neighboring property owners, and a plan for small plantings that encourage pollinator habitats for butterflies, birds, and bees will be part of the landscape plan. I'm going to pause there. Do you want to comment on that at all, Lisa? Just what those evergreens are going to be, because you know better than I.
So it's going to be a mix of native-ish evergreens because the deer pressure is very high. They eat a lot of things like arborvitae they actually really love, but cedars and junipers they tend to stay away from. There is one, the thuja arborvitae, they tend to stay away from. Rhododendron, they sometimes stay away from. So it will be.
They eat the ones that put them on.
They do, but they
That's
have
the
eaten them.
sometimes.
Yeah. So it will be a mix, and there will be some deciduous in there as well, probably more of the lower perennials. I'm just driving up the road here, I think there's lots of them out there. So I guess,
Wow.
that's gonna be the challenge.
Yeah. There's more and more to every year.
Yeah.
No hunting.
Yeah, and so generally, the goal is to have numbers native and biodiverse planting plan. I haven't done the perennial and shrub layer yet, because they just asked for the tree planting plan.
Thanks, Lisa. I'll just continue there. It should be noted that in response to board member concern expressed regarding the proximity and distance from the brook's north bank of the Little House on the brook, the brook guest suite number 7. And then the owner expressed interest of preserving the 4-tree Norway maple grove on the east side of the property and just to the north of the Little House. We are proposing moving the small 642 square foot structure 5 feet, preserving the grove and maintaining 30 foot from the forward corner of the structure to the brook, the top of bank. That's number 1 response, which is the longest. Number 2, the second building, construction methods and material, which is essentially the comment on the Little House. Construction methods and materials, utilities, and floor elevation raised above the existing zone AE, FEMA, DEC, and local guidelines, lines, and regulations will be adhered to with both structures in proximity to the Channery Brook. As noted in number 1 above, the second structure is being moved 5 foot further back from the brook with the closest corner 30 foot from the top bank. That's number 2 response. And I have a letter here too. I don't know if you have that handy for everybody. Number 3, pedestrian suspension footbridge. Every precaution will be made to safeguard the brook and its surrounding natural features before, during, and after construction of the footbridge. Sheet G003 construction environmental details was part of the joint application form submittal package to DEC and ACOE review and subsequent issuance on November 28, 2023 of the stream disturbance permit. I have a very long idea of where I want to do. The owner welcomes and encourages a post-construction walkthrough, including all planning board and WC members, to observe and comment on the resulting construction activity and mitigation management measures, best practices that will be contractually required of all participating contractors and subcontractors. And I think it's accurate to say that you know, a member of Representative DEC will be on site during the construction to observe, to make sure everything is done according to our plans, which they approved. So that's number 3, the pedestrian suspension footbridge response to WC. The final one is fire pit, number 4. While safely maintained wood burning fire pits can be found throughout the hamlet of Woodstock, excuse me, at both commercial, hospitality, and residential sites, we propose to alleviate safety and environmental concerns by converting the proposed wood burning fire pit to a propane operation. And I brought just a couple of samples here. And it may be one of these or maybe another one, but whatever it is, it's going to be, you know, UL listed and all, you know, very safely installed as well. Fire pit to a propane operation controlled by a switch remotely and or in proximity to the unit. This will be smokeless, low light producing, and shielded from neighbors located near the center of the open area with total flame control manager and UL listed manufactured unit. The selected model will be similar to that found in many hospitality locations throughout the state, which include indoor model installations as well. 2 examples of these are the 2 examples.
That's going to be my suggestion.
What's that?
Have a gas fire.
Well, yeah, propane fire.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. And that's our response to WC, and I'll try to answer any questions you
At
have
the
now.
beginning of your presentation, you're removing 3 walnut trees. And since walnut trees were one of the indigenous trees in Woodstock, so for a particular reason. What are they in the way of?
They're right in the middle. They're right in the middle, and they're really scrawny. They're not very big. And they're very close to each other. So they're not super healthy or productive. And walnut trees are actually, I mean, in a landscape, they're a little bit annoying. They're really messy.
Yeah, they dropped their.
You know?
We have one in our backyard, and that thing has gone from 0 to 35 feet in 10 years. They are really fast growing.
So they're, yeah, they're kind of strong. They're right, right in here. Yeah, well,
You don't have to-
just have where they're. But we're increasing the biodiversity a lot.
Yes.
So. I mean, if they were like specimen trees, I would understand the concern, but they're really not.
We'll take your word on that one.
Okay.
But the owner does want to preserve the maples, the Norway maples. He wants to preserve these. You know, we don't want to take those.
I guess the only other question we had, I don't know if the WC didn't bring it up, but is the idea, once across the bridge, is there gonna be any kind of notification that you're on?
Oh, I think
You did,
I mentioned
we
like,
went over it once before,
no, but I did here too. I
Okay.
mentioned that there would be a gate, like a dawn to dusk type of a gate at the south end of the, well, maybe at the property. You know, do we need two or just one? But the idea is that you know, that bridge crossing is not gonna be intended to be for, you know, after dark, you know, for traverse.
no, I just wanted, I know that was one of the questions the board had brought up several
I
times.
think this is the Camo property.
So you're asking for something up here?
Something about the Camo property.
So up here.
We could add
The
some
simple
sort of
thing
signage, just, yeah, very, very small. Let's not talk in the audience, please.
But I mean, the issue is the Como's a public.
What's that?
Como's public anyway.
Right, yeah, well,
I
but
mean, you
yeah,
can
yeah,
walk, you
for,
can go up to the soccer field anytime you want.
They don't have any hours.
Yeah, what's the point of a sign?
I mean, I guess.
It's
all are welcome. Is it that old song from the 1960s?
good for us.
I'm not going there. No. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have brought it up.
So, my take on it is that, you've done a great job in mitigating a commercial project within a residential, living area. And our job, of course, it's a permitted activity, and our job is to make sure we protect the neighbors as much as possible, which I believe you've done. You can ask the board members if they need anything else. I think the fire thing was an excellent solution to the fire pit.
A lot of data right here that I
Yeah.
can crack open if you want. A lot.
Were the issues with the road, Kalmar Lane, resolved? No, the neighbor doesn't want.
Legal, road maintenance.
Yeah,
agreement.
we do have a drafted, like a deed. I wish Alec were here, he could you know, use the legal language, but he has something that it will be committed to in terms of maintenance, because I know that was a concern of yours, John. That this owner would be responsible for the maintenance from the curb, which will soon have a sidewalk all the way back in. And so that is, I think, a net benefit to the neighboring properties in terms of maintaining, because it's been, you know, kind of riddled with potholes and not maintained at all, pretty much.
I guess the one other question the board brought up several times is there gonna be someone present for checking in and checking out? Is it all done through electronic?
It's not going to be 24 hours, but the idea is there would be somebody there for, you know, an advertised time from the morning to evening. Yeah.
Board members, other questions? Well, the next question for the board is, do you think we've got this complete enough to present for a public hearing? Or is it more
I do.
stuff that needs to
And
be?
he addressed our questions, so they were addressed.
And of course, as you know, language can be placed in the.
I do my job.
I'm just kidding.
So we'll take a poll on that. Does everybody on the board feel we're okay to go to public hearing?
Yes. Aye.
Okay. We'll schedule a public hearing.
Very good. Thank you very much. Melissa, I could leave one of these or both of these with you. What's your
Please
preference?
do.
You want one or both?
Well, do you care? Can I
No,
go?
no, please.
Do you have responses to the thing too?
Yeah.
Remember. I didn't
That's the for poor eyesight version. And here's the whole thing with the attachments on it.
All right.
Yep. You want a small set too?
Sure.
We got it all here.
You're a hoarder.
I wasn't gonna say.
I need something to put up on the window that I can put lights on. Go here, off
You're
the
gonna get
sprinkle.
rubber band. Thank you.
Unfinished business.
Have a good night.
We have to approve a draft resolution for Sternberg, SUP 24-0695. So I entertain a motion to approve the draft resolution.
Second,
All in favor?
I'll make a motion.
All in favor? Okay.
Okay, so I know we're down Judy and Jeannie, but we are back on track and need to go to Peter and Laurel's to do for subdivision wetlands and water course permit. I'd like to schedule it next week. What's your schedule look like? Who wants to go? So we can bring them back.
My schedule's horrible.
Where's located?
Where are we going? Where you live?
334.
Uriel.
Uriel, okay, yeah.
Where?
Check with Laurel and I think.
I will. I'm gonna get
I think
some.
Monday and Fridays. is good to go.
Okay. If I at least get a couple ideas from them right now, we're
Got it.
fingers crossed.
I could do a Monday or Friday.
And we think
During the
Laurel
day?
can't do Monday or Friday. Okay. Is it weekend?
Oh, no, she can't do, I'm sorry, I heard it.
I think
thought
we
you
can't
said-
do.
Oh,
But I have to check with her, so we're just trying to.
I think,
I could do some.
Thursday.
All right, do we want to group chat and figure this out?
Yeah, I mean, I'm flexible, so I
Jenny,
mean,
wanna
I'm
go?
in town, I'm just.
I have a really nutty week, but if needed, I could potentially do.
John, do you want to come?
Yeah.
You want to come? Okay.
It's a lot of walking.
So Tuesday,
Monday or Tuesday.
You can drive some of the way.
Tuesday, I won't have, my car will be at Sweeters all day, so I need to either be picked up and
Okay.
given a ride or something.
I do owe you for that.
I don't have wheels.
I do owe you for that. You drove last time.
I can only do Wednesday, so you might help me out.
Okay. So Braden can only
I'm
do
available
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
You have what Wednesday?
I can do Wednesday.
Okay, so I'm gonna try for Wednesday. I'll talk to Laurel. Is it better if I should I do group text and text everybody?
Yeah.
We put everybody in on a
that'd be
group
good.
text because I know email's tough to get into. And John, I'll call you. Good?
Whatever. I'll be there.
All right. Next meeting is November 7th, I believe, because I'm away for the next meeting. And I just want you guys to know that I did submit referral for 1105 Route 28 to the county. Their legal team asked me if we could schedule a site visit, and I said, what I understand from the planning board is that they want Ulster County Planning Board's recommendations before we do a site visit, but that's right. Is that where we're at?
I believe that would be the best.
To know what they're gonna say
Yes.
before we go in, right? Okay,
Just
I
like
just want to make sure
Pull
that
the
you
car
were
over and just.
there with that. Okay,
I know
Yeah.
exactly, I can see it in my dreams.
okay. I think that's it. Anything else?
Anybody got any additions or questions, or we can adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Well, alrighty then.
Moved and seconded.
And I.
Good night, Irene.
All right.
What? This is really difficult. I need like a.
It's like